presidential candidate for DCP is going to be Gachangua and the deputy Sifuna.
Mimi nawaambia mapema na mjue. Mimi nawaambia mapema kama Genz spokesperson. Msiseme si kuwaambia. Genz spokesperson amewaambia hivi. Kama Sifuna hata kuwa presidential candidate, mjue vijana hatutapiga kura.
Is Rigiji running for president? The answer is yes.
Sasa wacha niwaambie, if Gachangua is going to be on that ballot, whether as a presidential candidate or as a deputy president, most of us will abstain from that vote.
Mjue mapema, kwa sababu huyo candidate tunataka ni Sifuna. Huyo ndo tumeamua. Nyinyi wengine hatuna shida na nyinyi, hatuna shida. Mnaweza jipanga nyuma ya Sifuna, nyuma huko. Nyuma ya Sifuna, deputy nyuma, wengine nyuma, waziri wote nyuma. United Opposition, Munanisikia?
Yeah, I think people are overestimating how much we hate Ruto. We don't hate Ruto to the part where we are willing to vote for Gachangua. Rigathi does not represent good governance. There is nothing in his track record that would make any sensible person vote for him as a president. And the people who are fronting Gachangua as president are Kikuyu bigots.
Hello.
The tribalists, the people who believe in those Kikuyu supremacist ideologies, those are the people who are pushing for Gachangua to be a presidential candidate. Gachangua is a failed DO, someone who was interdicted by the Moi government. For stealing relief food. Can you imagine how evil and callous you have to be interdicted by a dictatorial government? This is someone who did not even perform as the Mathira MP. Actually, even for that Mathira seat, he didn't even win legitimately. Didn't even last a year as a deputy president before conflicting with everyone in government. And by the way, the MPs, the 70 MPs from Central, from Mount Kenya who impeached him, didn't even receive a bribe to do it. They hated him that much. And then to hear that most of these people are even holding party meetings in his house. So they are like small children now. And giving him money. Because now Mount Kenya people wamekuwa condor to the part, mkiambua muvotie DCP candidates, you're not going to do any vetting. You'll just vote for DCP because Rigathi has told you. You don't want to engage your mental faculties and identify proper leaders, whether they are from Jubilee, PNU, ODM or wherever. Mnataka tu mtu atoke na huko akuja waambie vote for this person because they paid 5 million shillings to get a DCP ticket. Now, if Rigathi will be on the ballot, Sisi, we are going to stop this one-term nonsense and this journey to Sogoi. We are going to start decampaigning Rigathi. And we will never mention Ruto ever again. Actually, tunafaa tuachane na Ruto, we focus on Rigathi so that we build a proper opposition. And if opposition is Rigathi, ikae. That wacha tukae na the devil we know. This is someone who was celebrating when Genzs were killed. Akisema ati you don't expect to be kissed by the police when you go to the streets. Did he even send condolences to the families when Genzs were killed on the streets? What is the contribution that Gachangua has made that is so significant that would make us consider him a presidential candidate?
Welcome back. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachangua has made a statement that is already attracting serious attention ahead of 2027 general election. According to Gachangua, he is not going around campaigning for another person to become president. His message is simple and direct. He is positioning himself for presidency. And now, here is the big question. Could Gachangua actually be preparing to make a serious presidential bid? Speaking to his supporters, Gachangua made it clear that Kenyans should not expect him to spend political energy campaigning for someone else. Instead, he presented himself as the person seeking the top seat. His remarks came at a time when Kenya's political landscape is already beginning to take shape, with different leaders on their toes and elsewhere preparing ahead of 2027 election. Gachangua has increasingly been presenting himself as a major political force outside the current government establishment. His latest declaration, therefore, sends a powerful political signal. He appears to be telling his supporters, "Don't wait for me to choose another candidate. Watch what I am preparing to do." And if Gachangua follows through with an actual presidential campaign, the 2027 race could become even more competitive.
Including supporters of my colleagues in the United Opposition. I've seen them on social media and in public platforms advancing a ridiculous proposition that Rigiji, his work is to remove William Ruto and give leadership to others. Ati hiyo ndio kazi yake. Ati Rigiji has a beef with William Ruto because he removed him from office, and therefore he should just help us to remove Ruto and anoint somebody else. Rigiji is not a kingmaker. Rigiji is king. I am not mobilizing Kenyans to remove William Ruto as president because of bitterness, no. Because of vengeance, no. It's my desire to have a good country. It is because I'm a patriot and I must apply the God-given ability to mobilize Kenyans for the benefit of the country. I'm not doing it because I have nothing personal against William Ruto. I have everything against what he stands for and what he does. I want good leadership in this country, and I'm offering myself for that position of president. And let nobody tell you that because I was removed from office, I cannot run. Section 75 of our Constitution says, yes, anybody removed through that method should not vie. But Section 99, Sabbatical 3, and the two sections must be read together, that anybody who has a challenge on matters of Chapter 6 of integrity cannot be stopped from vying until and unless he or she has exhausted all the remedies provided by the Constitution, all the way to the Supreme Court. And the two sections, the frame of this Constitution were clear. They must be read together. We are in court, in the Court of Appeal. We believe the Court of Appeal will give justice to Rigathi Gachangua and his supporters. In the unfortunate event that they also pronounce themselves in an absurd manner like the High Court, we still have another chance at the Supreme Court. In the meantime, we are preparing for elections. President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto had very serious case against them of murder, rape, displacement, genocide, very serious things against them. But the court said no, they are innocent until, and they must be allowed to run. And Kenyans said, we will decide. And they ran and they won. Rigathi Gachangua has killed nobody. He has raped nobody. He has displaced nobody. All he has done, he has been punished because of standing with the people of Kenya. Because of saying Gen Zs are not criminals. Because of saying we should not steal from the people of Kenya. Because of saying people should not be evicted. What crime has Rigathi Gachangua committed? Let anybody tell me. Why would any court in this country deny me the right to pursue political office when I've done nothing? And the High Court pronounced itself that I was taken through an unfair process and I did not get the right to fair hearing. Then the same court allows the product of an unconstitutional process to stand. It's what you call a constitutional absurdity. I am persuaded that the judges of the Court of Appeal will apply sanity, will apply the law, as it is read and allow Rigathi Gachangua to be who he is. And I am determined to pursue political office because that is what Kenyans want.
Now, here is the thing. Politics is not just about declaring your ambition. The real test is whether you can build a nationwide political machine capable of winning votes across Kenya. Gachangua has supporters, particularly among communities and regions where he has built a strong political following. But a presidential election requires much more than a strong region base. He would need alliances. He would need convincing a national agenda. And most importantly, he would need to persuade millions of Kenyans that he is the right person to lead the country. So when Gachangua says he is not campaigning for someone else because he intends to be one of the top, that statement should not simply be viewed as political incitement. It would be declaration of intent. The big question now is, will Gachangua actually enter the 2027 presidential race, or is this simply the beginning of negotiations and political positioning? And one thing we know is that the race to 2027 is on 90% high. And if Gachangua truly intends to go for presidency, Kenya should be heading into one of the most closest watched political contests in the recent history. What do you think? Is Gachangua ready to become the Kenyans' next president? Or does he still have a long political journey ahead, considering what is happening at the court? Drop your opinion in the comments section and don't forget to subscribe for more Kenyan political updates. Bye bye for now.